How odd is it for you to kill somebody? Blunt force trauma, by the way. How odd is it for you to kill somebody and then you to go in the refrigerator and eat pie? So I wanted to talk to y'all about the show Swarm, right? Have you seen it? Did you like it? If you've seen it, I really liked it. And like more than I thought I would like it, you know what I mean? And I have my notes here today, so anyway, let's go ahead and get into it. All right, first of all, the Beyonce reference. It's called Swarm, Beehive. You get it, you get it. All right, but I want to talk about a couple of the references in there. I don't have a complete list because it's a lot. It's a lot in there. Anyway, okay, first of all, we see in the beginning that she buys tickets and they're supposed to be like super expensive. Beyonce tickets are expensive. Okay, but they start off in April 2016. If you know, in case you didn't know, that's when Lemonade dropped. So boom, there's that one. Also, right after Marissa dies, when they're in the club, the visuals are very Beyonce-esque. The girl Naja has like a really long braid, which reminded me of Beyonce in Formation. You know, she was taking the braid and she was swirling it. Beyonce reference. And also the visuals, like in general, like the men with the beads. It reminds me of the Find Your Way Back video. You know. Anyway, the elevator situation was there. Also, Naja has twins and Naja has a sister, and I think it was the boss, and she was like, I like her sister more. You know, as soon as somebody don't like Beyonce, they love to say, oh, I like Solange more. Throw that little shade. So, you know, a lot of Beyonce references. When we meet Dre's, what do you call them? Adoptive family? Foster family. They handed the mom lemonade, you know. And then also the artist Naja, when we see her the first time, she has on like a big old coat, which is like the Beyonce coat from Don't Hurt Yourself video. Let me see what else I found. And the hat, you know, the hat is very Homecoming. It's very Beyonce Homecoming. So there's the references, just a couple of them. Also, in the very first episode, I'm like, what's up with this hairstyle? Because we weren't wearing bangs like that in 2016. I don't know about y'all, but we weren't wearing bangs like that in 2016. That's a Nicki Minaj reference. And I don't know if anyone has mentioned that. I haven't seen anyone else mention that. That's definitely a Nicki Minaj reference. And then the second hairstyle we see her in, it's the puff balls with the bang and the, you know, the shape bangs. It's very, what was it? The phase that Nicki went through, the Harajuku Barbie, is very, reminds me of that. So there's Nicki Minaj reference. If there were more artists, which I'm sure there were, I didn't pick up on it. I think I'm gonna go back and watch it again. But anyway, so the question is this about Beyonce? Is this about Beyonce? There are a lot of Beyonce references. I went over some of them, but I don't think it's about Beyonce. I think they just want to point out the fact of stan culture and how harmful it is, or how harmful it can be. If you notice, Dre doesn't really have a personality of her own. Like, throughout the series, she adapts and moves to whatever is going to get her closer to Naja. Why is that? So, we know down the line that she was in foster care. She eventually found a foster family, and that's how her and Marissa were sisters. So, even though they took her in, I think the only one that made her feel accepted or wanted or just good in general, or, you know, like she belonged, was Marissa. And I think that's why they were so close and had that codependent dynamic that we saw. So in the ending, we finally get to see Naja's face, and it's Marissa's. Ooh. So why did I bring that up? Because I think the two characters are one and the same. You know what I'm saying? They both serve as that feeling of wanting to belong somewhere, wanting to be a part of something, and she's extremely loyal to that, even at her own detriment, i.e. buying the tickets that she couldn't afford multiple times, you know, to her detriment, even when it doesn't make sense. And I think that's what they're pointing out here, that people want to be a part of this beehive, or what do they call the Nicki, what is the Nicki, I forgot what Nicki's fan base is called, but people want to be a part of something so much, and they adhere to something so much because I don't want to say they lack substance within themselves, but you know, they just want to like attach something, and I think seeing these celebrities is like kind of like an escape when you have a certain level of trauma, or you know, I don't want to go too far into it, but you get where I'm going with that. I think they just want to point out how that blind loyalty is harmful. And once Marissa died, she had blind loyalty in the beginning with Marissa. And I think they bonded over liking Naja. And I think after she died, she just flat out snapped. Okay. And I think the killing started because she felt like she was too late to save Marissa. And I think that's why, what's his name? Khalid was her first victim. You get what I'm saying? I think he was her first victim. And I feel like maybe she feels like if she killed him earlier, Marissa would still be here. So I think that she keeps killing specifically she's attacking people who don't agree with Naja, or that don't like Naja, okay? And I think she's doing that to kind of, that trauma is replaying, like, okay, well, if I go ahead and kill them now, they can't harm my favorite artist. You get what I'm saying? Let's see what else I had here. And if you notice, like, she had her own phone in the beginning, but after they took everything, this is what I mean by doing things to your own detriment. Regarding that blind loyalty. She bought tickets and she ain't had nowhere to stay. Okay? No ma'am. After they cleaned the place out, she found Marissa's phone. But she had her own phone, if you notice. So I think she took that to feel connected to her. And I think she's just really, really dying for this connection. Again, this feeling of like belonging, you know what I'm saying? Not to mention, after Marissa dies, we see a video of her, and Marissa's talking about basically killing the people that don't like Naja. So it's all one and the same, and again, I think they're just trying to point out the fact that too much is too much. Okay, like it's one thing to like an artist and to appreciate their body of work. I'm definitely a Beyonce fan. Looked at tickets. I didn't get any, but I mean, I definitely looked at tickets. But at the end of the day, these celebrities are humans like us. They make mistakes like us. They bleed like us. They have flaws like us. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like there are people that idolize them so much, and it's sad, honestly, but it's really just flat out odd. When someone can do no wrong in your eyes, that is really, really dangerous, okay? And I've seen it with Beyonce fans, I've seen it with Nicki fans, I've seen it with Cardi fans, and I'm a fan of all three, by the way. But like, let's say they'll do something, and it's just, you're not allowed to disagree with them. You're not allowed to say anything about anything they do. That's dangerous. That's flat out dangerous. Like, for example, Beyonce with the Tiffany situation about the blood diamond. Yeah, that was too much for me. I don't agree with that. I don't agree with, you know, people say there's a Nicki hate train. I don't think people necessarily hate Nicki. I think people are just side-eyeing the fact that it really, 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 really looks like she doesn't like people that competition. I'm not going into that too much because, like I said, this fan base, these fan bases, honey, too much. But after Marissa died, she snapped. And I want to talk about a couple of the things that I saw that were symbolism, okay? Now, the symbolism that I did find, I know in the first episode, she picks up a piece of glass and she squeezes it. And this is right after Marissa dies. And I think that was a reference to say that she has blood on her hands, right? Where's my other note? They say that she has blood on her hands. And then also, after she killed Khalid, his name's Khalid. I think after she killed Khalid, she ate pie. Like, how odd is it for you to kill somebody? Blunt force trauma, by the way. How odd is it for you to kill somebody and then you to go in the refrigerator and eat pie? But I think it's a reference to say that she's eating humble pie. Humble pie, like apologizing for her wrongs. And I remember I pointed out the fact that I think that she blames herself for being too late, and that's why she killed Khalid. I think that's why she killed him because I think that she thinks that she was too late. She blames herself, and that humble pie is a way of apologizing and saying that she was righting her wrong. Okay. Also, there's another theory out there saying that she killed Marissa, and I really don't think so. Let me tell you why. Why would she kill Marissa? But also, Marissa already had cuts on her arm, which referenced the fact that she was probably self-harming, or she probably made an attempt before all of this happened. Also, she texted her all the way up until she died. And I really think that Dre had some type of manic episode or something. And that's why she got, I think she was just like high in the feeling of the new music and everything. And I think that's why she had sex with the guy, because it really doesn't seem like she's into men like that. Or just interested in sexuality necessarily. So yeah, I think that's why she did that. And I really don't think she killed her. I really don't. I think that she was in a manic episode of her own, and she didn't come out of it until that next morning when she saw the text. Also, she talked to Khalid before she killed him, and he talked about the fact that he was with her before it happened. I really don't think she killed her. But if y'all want me to talk about it some more, because I've watched the entire series when it came out, but I went back and watched the first 2 episodes to kind of pick up on things that I didn't notice, but I'm not done rewatching it. So you want me to talk about it some more, I can, and maybe we'll find like some more pieces of symbolism or things like that. But that's all I had for that right now, unless y'all want me to talk about it some more, okay? I'll see y'all in the next video, alright? Love you, bye.